let's take a look at the world around us, but not in the way we usually do. Let's try to look past what we think we know and listen for the questions it's asking. Because tonight, we're diving into the strange, unexplained patterns all over nature and what they might be silently trying to tell us.
You know, when you first look at it, the natural world just feels, well, it feels like a beautiful, chaotic accident, right? Just a random collision of chance and, well, necessity.
But what if it isn't? What if, just beneath that surface layer of chaos, there's some kind of hidden architecture, a set of rules so deep, so profound that it actually governs everything?
See, these patterns, they're literally etched into the fabric of our world. You can find them even in the most vast, seemingly empty places, like our deserts. And you'll find them in the deep, rhythmic movements of the oceans, reacting to forces that started thousands of kilometers away. It's all connected.
And maybe most mysteriously of all, we find them written into life itself. I mean, think about the stripes on a zebra, or even the whorls of our own fingerprints.
So let's talk about the order in all this chaos. Because once you learn how to look, really look, at the world, that randomness, it just starts to dissolve. And what's left underneath is a startling, almost unbelievable amount of order.
I mean, just think about it for a second. A snowflake, right? No two are ever the same, yet every single one has this perfect six-sided symmetry. Or a honeycomb, built with hexagonal precision for maximum strength. A spider's web? That's a masterclass in engineering. And the crazy part is, there's no conscious designer. There's no one in charge, yet they all follow these unspoken mathematical rules.
And this brings us to a really unsettling question. Is nature just stumbling upon the most efficient mathematical solutions by pure chance? Or is there something else going on, like a pre-existing script, a set of rules that it's all compelled to follow?
Okay, so if there is a code, then maybe the most compelling piece of evidence we have is this one: single, repeating numerical pattern. It's a pattern that shows up almost everywhere we look. It's called the Fibonacci sequence. It's a really simple pattern. You just add the last two numbers to get the next one. So 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and on and on. Now, we humans figured this out centuries ago, but it looks like nature has been using it for eons. And it does this without a brain, with no blueprint, and with absolutely zero visible instructions.
And the places you find it, it's absolutely staggering. The number of spirals in the sunflower's seeds, it follows the sequence. The scales on a pine cone, same deal. The perfect curve of a nautilus shell growing over time, that's a Fibonacci spiral. And get this, even the colossal, swirling arms of a hurricane follow the very same mathematical logic.
So you have to ask yourself, how? How can so many completely unrelated things, from a flower in a field to a massive storm in the ocean, all fall in line with the exact same hidden number pattern? I mean, is this just the universe's biggest coincidence? Or is it something else entirely?
All right, and this is where the mystery gets even deeper. We start to find patterns that don't just follow rules. They seem to organize themselves. They create these incredibly complex structures with no central command, no leader, no one calling the shots.
Okay, take a look at this. In the deserts of Africa and Australia, you find these strange, perfectly spaced circles in the grass. They're called fairy circles, and they can go on for miles. And here's the thing. After decades of research, scientists still can't agree on why they exist. Some say it's termites, others say it's plants competing for water, but there's this third, stranger possibility that won't go away, that the pattern just forms itself.
Or how about this one, which is even more unsettling? Ocean waves. They don't just move randomly. Some studies suggest they can actually predict the energy coming from distant storms, miles and miles away, and then rearrange themselves before that energy even gets there. So how does a wave know what's coming?
Now, scientists have a name for this. They call it self-organization. And it's a really powerful idea, right? It describes how all these systems, from waves to living cells, can just spontaneously create intricate order all on their own. But here's the catch. It's a description of what is happening. It doesn't tell us a thing about why.
Because even if a system organizes itself, it's still playing by some kind of rules, right? It's following some fundamental laws. So that just leads to the bigger question, who or what wrote those rules? All right, let's zoom all the way out. When you start to connect all these dots, the silent geometry, the repeating numbers, these systems that organize themselves, you start to bump up against a truly radical possibility.
what if all the chaos we think we see isn't chaos at all? What if it's just a pattern that's so incredibly complex, so vast, that we just can't see the whole design yet? What if randomness itself is the illusion, and nature is really operating on a set of laws we are only just starting to understand?
And if that's true, where does that leave us? I mean, from our fingerprints to our DNA, we are nothing but patterns. If this grand design really exists, then we're not just outside observers looking in, we're woven directly into it. We're part of the pattern too.
It really seems like the world hides its deepest secrets right out in the open, in the things we see every single day. And it leads you to one conclusion: these patterns, they aren't just accidents of physics.
You have to wonder if they're a form of communication, a kind of silent geometry, speaking a language that we just haven't learned how to translate yet.
And the thing is, the more we learn to see this silent language, the more clear it becomes that the reality we thought we knew, well, it's far stranger and way more mysterious than we ever could have imagined.
If you enjoy intelligent stories that make you question reality, like the video and subscribe to MindScapes by Faizu for more.